Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. A very comfortable win in the end for Liverpool as they steamrolled Lask with complete ease. The match ended 4-0 and we've now qualified to the last 16 as winners of Group E. So let's discuss the key moments of the game and then I'll also present my player ratings. Also, this is a calling show, so if you'd like to come on and have your say, the link is in the description. So let's talk about the lineups first. So in terms of the Liverpool lineup, slight surprise in terms of Mo Salah starting the game, as I would have expected him to have been rested. But nevertheless, he starts the game and is given the captain's armband, which is a special moment for him as well. Tsimikas also starts, another player that I thought may have been rested due to the number of games that he's played consecutively, but that wasn't the case. And in terms of the rest of the team, it's exactly what I predicted in the match preview. For Lask, pretty much likewise, where I got most of the selection correct, apart from one. Stojkovic starts ahead of Flecker, who you may remember scored the first goal in our first encounter in September. So in terms of the first half, slow 10 minutes for both teams. Around the 10th minute, in fact, Liverpool build up a move that starts from a good defensive play from Harvey Elliott in our own half. Diaz gets the ball on the left wing, finds Gravenberch, who lays it off to Elliott. He thinks a lovely pass towards Gakpo, but he just couldn't wrap his foot around the shot. And then this is where the flurry of goals began, and it began at the 11th minute. And it was Liverpool who brought the deadlock. We were Luis Diaz header. That's probably one for the record books, as he doesn't score a lot. I know he has been scoring a lot of headers recently. I think he did it for international duty as well, and for Colombia. But then a nice cross from Joe Gomez on the right-hand side with the assist. And in the 15th minute, Liverpool make it 2-0. Great play by Luis Diaz, who lays a pass to Salah, and he hits a cross with that outside of his foot to Gakpo, who scores pretty much a tap-in from close range. So far it's going to plan in terms of how Liverpool playing. It's been an easy start to that game. I would say it's a walk in the park with Lask playing so open. Liverpool are literally tearing them apart right now. And then in terms of Lask's performance in the first half, they had a couple moments where they certainly troubled or tried to trouble the Liverpool backline, but they just couldn't keep on side, unfortunately, especially their left winger, who was pretty much a live wire in that first half. Around the 31st minute, Tsimikas hits a thunderbolt from distance, and that shot hits the crossbar. So unlucky not to score there, as that would have been one hell of a goal. 40th minute, Joe Gomez almost broke his duck with a long shot. I thought this was the moment, as the ball looked like it was creeping into the corner, but unfortunately it was just wide. But I'm still going with my hunch. He will break his deadlock this season. So let's see how that goes on. 41st minute, Salah makes a great run on the right wing. He hits a pass across the 6-yard box with his right foot. Too much pace for Gakpo, who wasn't able to get at the end of the ball. 42nd minute, literally a minute later, Salah has a shot on target, straight at the keeper. Should have done better there, in my opinion, as it was the last moment of the first half. And in terms of our first half performance, Liverpool started the game very lively, of course, scoring 2 goals in 15 minutes. Solid first half. And at that stage, I'm expecting more in the second. And that's exactly how it panned out. 46th minute, Liverpool start the second half, pretty much how they left the first, and that's on the attack. This time it was a 1-2 between Gravenberch and Gakpo. Gakpo takes his shot. Unfortunately, doesn't go in. It goes for a corner. Around the 49th minute, Gakpo has a heavy touch in the box. I think he was trying to lay off for Diaz, but it ended up just being a poor touch. But he continues to retrieve the ball, and Lawal comes sliding in and takes him out. So the ref points it to the spot. Mo Salah steps up and smashes it in the bottom corner. And that's his 199th goal for Liverpool. One more to make it the big 200. So hopefully that happens in our next fixture against Fulham. 53rd minute, Gakpo has a great chance to score a brace, but his long shot clips the post and goes out for a goal kick. Now, at that stage, substitutions were made by Klopp. 3, in fact, so it was Konate, Salah, and Diaz off for Trent, Jones, and Nunez. around the 57th minute. Elliott has a shot on goal. Good save by Lowell. And then a moment later, Nunez has a crack on goal that was deflected for a corner. And then 58th minute, Nunez has another solid shot on goal. And it was a fantastic save by Lowell as it was from close range. So a difficult one to do, but he managed to parry it away. And then 79th minute, Gakpo has a shot inside the box, which was saved by the keeper. More substitutions took place around the 81st minute. Tsimikas and Gravenberch were substituted for Chambers and Bradley, which was a nice moment for both players as they've coming through the ranks, especially Conor Bradley, who makes his first start for Liverpool this season after suffering an injury around pre-season time. So good to see him playing some first-team football there. 84th minute, Lask nearly brought the deadlock. Robert Zulj tries an audacious backheel shot that was tipped away by Kelleher for a corner. And then in the end, Gakpo got his brace, 91st minute. Lovely pass by Trent to find Gakpo on the left-hand side. He cuts in and smashes it into the corner. Fully deserves. I feel like he had a fantastic game. But overall, a great game for Liverpool. A comfortable win in the end. And with Toulouse drawing against USG in the other game, we've solidified our position as group winners with 12 points. And we still have one more game to go. So in terms of the next fixture, it'll be great to see some of our youngsters getting some valuable experience, as it's not necessary to play the first team players, in my opinion. And also, the good thing about topping the table is that we're not expected to play the next round until March. So that's 4 months away. So now we can concentrate on the league as well as domestic competitions, as we're still in the Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup campaign will start very, very soon. So let's do the player rating. If you'd like to come on the show and have your say, I would suggest to hit the link now, and I'll get you on very, very soon. So let me share the graphics with you guys, and we can go through it together. So we'll start with you with Kelleher. So for me, Kelleher had a much better performance than he has been, I would say, in the last couple of games in the Europa League, where he's looked a bit shaky, in my opinion. I think he's picked up form at the right time, considering that Alisson is injured with a hamstring injury and may be out for about a couple of weeks. So that means that he will step up and play a couple of Premier League games now. So overall, I think he had a good game, made some good saves. He wasn't really overworked. So in terms of performance, he didn't really stand out as such. But I feel like he showed a very solid account, made some good saves, very good in terms of any aerial challenges that came across. And I think with his kicking as well, which I've critiqued in the last few weeks, he was much better in this game. So for his ranking, I'm going to go for a 7.5. So let's start with that. 7.5. Let's go with Tsimikas. So Tsimikas, for me, much better performance from him. Even his last fixture against City, I was quite impressed with how he performed. He's showing a more positive attitude in his play, playing with more confidence now as well, which is great to see. Almost scored a wonder goal. I actually thought I was in when he smashed it in onto the post. I thought it was going to bounce into the goal, but it wasn't to be. But in terms of his all-round play, I think he was fantastic. He's improving his link-up play with the likes of Diaz on that left-hand side, and even Gravenberch, who played on the left side of the central midfield there. So, no, great link-up play with his fellow colleagues there, I guess. Defensively, he was very good. He wasn't really caught out in any of his positions, so he maintained a compact shape within the back four. So no, for me, very solid performance from Tsimikas. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. In terms of the next player, Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa for me was fantastic in this game, especially in the second half. When Konate was substituted, I just feel like he just took that responsibility, like, oh, all right, I need to step up here. Made some very crucial last-ditch tackles in the second half. Yeah, very solid on the ball. Didn't look out of place whatsoever. He's been a breath of fresh air in this Europa League campaign. And long may it continue. Hopefully he gets more game time going forward. So for today's performance, I'm going to give him an 8.5. Konate didn't play the full game, played around 50, 55 minutes, and that's because he's just returned from injury. But in terms of how he performed, I thought he was very solid in the first half, made a couple of crucial tackles in the first half where the players were going through. I think Zorge was one of them. So it was quite positive to see that he's regaining that match fitness, and I'm expecting to see him play more games going forward. But today, I thought he was very, very solid. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Joe Gomez, very, very solid performance from him as well. Started the game playing right back, and then when Trent Alexander-Arnold came on later on, shifted in the centre-back role. Didn't look out of place in any of the positions. Got an assist for the first goal with Diaz's header. So for me, top performance from him today. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 today as well. Endo for me had a decent performance. Shows good passing. There was a lot of moments where he had to make the pass in very tight angles, but he managed to do it. A couple of times he had to make those professional tackles where he knew he wasn't going to get the ball, but he had to barge the play out of the way. That's what you want from a destroyer end of the day. So I don't mind seeing that at all. Around the 89th minute, one of the players was going through on goal, and he made a crucial challenge to stop the ball from going anywhere near the final third. So that was a good moment from him there. But no, solid performance. I can't really fault his effort and energy for the team. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Gravenberch for me had a decent performance. Showed some good strides when he was dribbling with the ball. The only sort of critique I would have is that he gave away the ball quite a few times. So that's just something he needs to work on his game. Slipped quite a few times as well. So I'm not sure what boots he was wearing. But he needs to sort that out for the next fixture. But overall, always a positive performance when I see Gravenberch just glides with the ball, which is lovely to see. And I feel like the more game he gets, the more confidence he'll show when he's on the ball as well. So in terms of today's performance, I'll also give him a 7.5 out of 10. Harvey Elliott for me was very, very positive throughout the game, putting a shift as well as an all-round player. He wasn't just focused on the final third, really worked hard for the team. Towards the latter stage of the game, gave the ball away, almost, I think, led to possibly conceding a goal. I think he did a bad back pass and the player went through. And that's the moment where Endo made that crucial tackle. So Tyler's may have just kicked in that moment there. But overall, very neat on the ball, has a lovely first touch. Tries to make things happen, very energetic as well. And didn't really look out of shape playing on the right-hand side of a number 8. So for me, another solid performance from him. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Now let's talk about the attackers. They were definitely the stars of the show. Selecting a man of the match could have been any one of these guys. Let's start with Mo Salah, who looked very energetic from the first minute, which is great to see. Really used his pace in this game. There was a couple of moments where he was gliding with the ball on the right-hand side. I thought he would do one of his trademark curlers, but wasn't able to do so. Got on the score sheet through a penalty, which makes it his 199th goal for Liverpool. So fingers crossed he makes it 200 this weekend. And also provided an assist, which was quite a nice pass outside of his foot, curled towards Gakpo, and then he pretty much scored from point blank there. So a great afternoon from Mo Salah there. So I'm going to give him an 8.5. Diaz, for me, was one of the standout performers in that first half, especially. And that's the kind of performance I want to see from Diaz, where we know he works hard for the team. We know he does well. But I want him to be that flair player for us as well, where, when he gets the ball, everyone's out in their seats excited to see what he does, whether it's going for a cheeky nutmeg or taking 2 players on. That's what fans pay for when they come to the stadium. So, no, for me, he's a very exciting player. The goal was not an easy goal. He had to really dive and then use his neck power to guide it towards the corner of the goal. So that was a well-taken goal there. And then he was very influential later on for the next goal, second goal as well. So no, very, very positive performance from him. Good to see him back in form. So I feel like next game we'll see. I think we expect to start with Jota not available. So next game, hopefully he continues this confidence going into Premier League games and can really kickstart his season from now on. So in terms of his overall performance, I'm going to give him an 8.5 as well. Gakpo, for me, had a standout performance today. Really, really worked hard for the team, pressed really well. In terms of his goals, fantastic finishes. Obviously, the first one was a tap-in, but the second one, he was trying to get that second goal quite numerous times in the second half. And in the end, lovely pass by Trent Alexander-Arnold. He cuts in, and then Gakpo smashes it. Goalkeeper had no chance saving that shot. So 2 goals to his name. And in fact, even the penalty that we had came from his play where he dribbled into the box and got fouled by the keeper. So not an official assist, but you can call it assist if you want. But definitely very pivotal in how he played today. So for me, he was definitely stand-up performer. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. And he's actually my man of the match. So I'm just gonna highlight his name to say he is our man of the match. So let me know what you guys think of my ranking here. Have I been harsh with the midfielders like Endo and Gravenberg? Maybe they should be ranked a bit higher due to the scoreline. Or do you think Gakpo should got 9.5 or 10? Let me know in the comments. But I still feel like this is a good indication of how everyone played. Very solid performance all the way around, which is great to see. In terms of the subs that came on, so it was Trent who came on for Konate. I'll put the players in their correct positions shortly. So we've got Trent. And then we also had Jones. I think he came off. Jones, who did Jones come off for? Not sure who he came off from. Jones came off for Salah, I think it was. So let's just put Jones there. Because it's triple substitution, so it doesn't have to be in order as such. And then Diaz came off for Darwin Nunez. And then it was Simicas and Gravenberg. And it was Chambers that came on. So Chambers there. And it was Conor Bradley. Hopefully he's here. Oh, if I can spell his name properly. Conor Bradley. Yes, he is there. Fantastic. So let me just put everyone in their correct positions. So where do we start? So Elliot more or less played on the right-hand side later on in the game. And then you had Jones, you had Endo, and then you had Trent on that side. And then you had Conor Bradley as a right back. Then you had Joe Gomez there. So yeah, we can just place the players in their positions. So let's start with Darwin Nunez. So Darwin Nunez, when he came on, he was, I think it was lively for like the first 5 minutes of his performances, and then seemed to just fizzle out. I think he got frustrated quite a few times actually. Not to pinpoint names, but in particular with Curtis Jones, who on 2 or 3 occasions had the chance to lay the ball off for him. One was a short pass, and the other one was where Jones was attacking from the right-hand side, and he went for the low cross in the near post. Should have lifted his head and looked at Nunez because he was clear in the far post, and I think he would have had a good chance of scoring there. So I think after that, I think his head went down a little bit, which is a slight concern, as Nunez is normally very positive in his outlook of the game. But he still worked hard for the team. He still did well, in my opinion. So I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. And then you've got Curtis Jones, who came on. I don't know. I don't think he's found his rhythm yet. He's still lacking that match fitness, in my opinion. Hopefully he finds it soon, because he was, before the suspension, I think he was one of our consistent performers. But hopefully in due time it'll come good for him. So in terms of his ranking, I'm going to give him 6 out of 10. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold with the assist, beautiful pass for Gakpo there. And in general, had a decent game. I know there was one moment where he was right back, and then he went inverted, and they attacked us on the left-hand side. So just positionally, I don't think he was quite aware there. Then he went into midfield, did a decent job, but the pass definitely stood out into the how he perfected it. So his performance, I'll give him a 7.5 due to that assist alone. And in terms of who do we have next, we've got Luke Chambers and Connor Bradley. Luke Chambers didn't really have too much involvement from what I can remember. But yeah, it's good to see him on the pitch, and hopefully he gets to play in the next game as well, as we've pretty much qualified now. So it will be important to give some of the youngsters some game time. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. And Connor Bradley came on, showed some good touches. Especially, I think he was interchanging very well with Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was in midfield. So he was very good as well. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. And hopefully he can get some game time next week as well. So yeah, that's my ranking there. Let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, that's my, as I can see, there's no callers today. That's a wrap up for today. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Next show will be tomorrow at an earlier time of 6 p.m. Where I'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Fulham, which is taking place this Sunday. And then in terms of that game, I'll be doing a match reaction on Sunday as well. Time to be confirmed. So the best thing to do is hit the notification bell on YouTube, and you'll be notified when I'll be going live in my upcoming shows. Or you can follow me on social media for all the latest updates. So you can follow me at Ozzie FTP on Twitter/X, or you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. So as always, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye.